How to get all the straw hats on Infinite Craft. So in here, we just need to create all the One Piece characters. In order to do that, let's first craft one piece. In order to do that, we need to add some elements in order to create another. So let's add water and water together and we have lake. Let's add water to the lake, we'll have ocean. Let's add ocean and earth together and we'll have island. And then island and islands together in order to create continent. And then earth and earth together will create a mountain. And then mountain and mountain together will create a mountain range. Now on this mountain range right here, we just need to mix that with continent and we have Himalayas. Then add continent again to the Himalayas, we will have Asia. Now add Asia and island together and we will have Japan. So this is the first block. We just need to craft the America block as well. So let's add fire and water. We will have steam and then steam and wind together in order to create another element which is cloud. Now cloud and cloud together will create rain and then rain and rain together will create rainbow. Now let's add continent to the rainbow and we'll have America. Now let's merge America and Japan and we will have anime. After that, we need to just use the second block required, which is pirate. So let's put anime aside for now. Now let's add in here earth and water. We'll have plant and then plant and plant will actually create a tree. Now for this one, let's add plant and wind together in order to have leaf. And then you can also add plant and wind together as well later. And then adding plant and wind will actually create dandelion. Now in here, let's add dandelion and then tree together and we'll have wish. Then add wish and tree together will create money. Now money and money will create gold. Now after that, gold and money will create rich. And then water and water will also create lake. We already tackled that. But we need lake later in order to add some water in order to create an ocean. And then ocean and rich together will actually have pirates. Now that we have those two, we just need to merge them. And then as you can see, we have now the one piece. So we need to craft one piece also by combining otaku and pirate. So this is just the first method. We also have another method. So in order to do the second method, we need to have earth and water together. We have plant, then plant and water will create swamp, and then swamp and plant together will actually create Venus flytrap. And then let's add in here the lake and then water in order to create ocean, and then ocean and Venus flytrap will create seaweed. Now let's put it aside and then let's also create in here again an island, or you can also just go to the continent again. And then we have in here the next part is the mountain. So we have in here the mountain. Let's merge the mountain with the seaweed and we will have sushi. Now in here, let's add earth and continent together in order to have land. Now let's merge land and sushi in order to create Japan. So as you can see, this is two different methods which actually enables us to get same blocks. So you can also add otaku or crop it with anime. In order to do that, you need to have dust. So let's head over and add in here earth and wind together. We will have dust. Dust and ocean together will actually create sand. Sand and fire together will create glass. Glass and fire together will create lens. Lens and Japan together will actually create camera right here. And then camera and Japan will create anime. Now that we have in here the anime, you can just merge these two together in order to create the one piece in here again. So you just also need to craft pirate because it also takes less time compared to the others. So in order to craft pirate, you need to have the tree. We have in here the tree. Let's add this two again. We have forest. Then forest and tree will create wood. And then wood and ocean will create a boat. Now boat and ocean will create a ship. And then ship and ocean will create a pirate. So that's also another method. You can just add the first block, which is otaku, and then this pirate right here that we can actually use. So let's put that aside for now. We also have some craftable blocks with one piece. Now that we have in here that, we just need to create Luffy because Luffy is actually required for most blocks. You should first craft for a monkey. in order to do that, we need to have plant and then tree. So here is our tree, and then here's our plant. So let's merge the tree and tree in order to create a forest. After that, forest and tree together will create wood, and then paper and paper for that after. But let's first merge wood and tree in order to create paper, and then let's add paper and paper in order to create book. Forest and forest together will actually create another element, which is jungle. So let's add forest and book together. We'll have library, and then you can also add another thing for this one as well. We can merge jungle and library to create Tarzan right here. And then merging Tarzan with the jungle will create a monkey. So we have now that monkey block. Next thing we need to do is we need to merge one piece with our monkey right here. So we have in here our one piece. We already created that earlier. So in order to do that, let's merge this and we will have Luffy. Now, you can also crop other things related to One Piece using this Luffy block. So let's first add Luffy right here. Now you can craft in here the Pirate King. We just need to add Luffy and then One Piece together. So let's add those and we will have Pirate King. Now in here on the Pirate King, you can also add in here another thing as well. So you can add a lot of things with this one. You have a lot of blocks for this one as well. So you can use also Luffy and Monkey together in order to create another thing, which is Monkey D. Luffy. You can also do Luffy and water together, and then this will create Gear 2. After that, Luffy and fire together will create another person, which is Ace, who died. And then in here, let's add Luffy and Earth together. We will have in here Gum Gum, which is his forbidden fruit. Now, we can also add Luffy and Seaweed together. So let's add in here Luffy, and then we can also add in here Seaweed. Here's Seaweed right here, and as you can see, we have now Nami. Now, we can also add another thing, which is Luffy and Tree. Here's Luffy, and here's our tree. We have Gomu Gomu no Mi. After that, you can also add Luffy and go of our gun, our earth, everything right here. We can also make cook. So let's add in here water and earth together and we have plant. Now let's add wind and plant in order to create dandelion. And then plant and dandelion will actually create in here weed. Now on this weed, let's add another plant. We will have pot, and then pot and fire will create cook. Now on this cook that we just recently made, we need to add in here Luffy, and then we have Sanji. And now let's create flower. And then we need in here plant again for the flower. Now let's create earth and wind together. Wind and earth will create dust. And then plant and dust together will create pollen. And then plant and pollen together will create a flower. Now let's add in here Luffy on the flower and we will have Boa Hancock. Next thing we need to do is we need to create samurai. So in order to do that, we need to have the smoke. So let's add in here fire and wind together. We will have the smoke right here. And then fire and earth will create lava. Now let's add water and lava together. And we will have the stone. Now lava and stone will actually create another thing right here. And we'll have obsidian. Now in here, we just need to add obsidian and stone together in here. We'll have the blade. Now in here, blade and smoke together will create ninja. And then blade and ninja right here will create samurai. Now in here, next thing we need to do is we just need to add in here another thing. So now that we have samurai, we need to add in here or create a monkey D. Luffy. So we already create a monkey D. Luffy, so we need to add monkey D. Luffy the samurai right here as well. And then as you can see, it will create Ronoroa Zoro. Next thing is let's create engineer. Now in order to create engineer, we need to have steam and then smoke together. So we already created that earlier, so we have in here steam and smoke. Now, after that, we also need the plant. So here's our plant right here. Then after that, let's add wind and plant together. As you can see, this will create dandelion. And then let's add water to the dandelion right here. We have wine. Now let's add wine and smoke together. We will have smoker. And then earth and smoker right here will create farmer. Now farmer and steam will create engineer. After you have done the engineer, you just need to add in here as well Monkey D. Luffy. So we already created that earlier. So here's Monkey D. Luffy. Let's add that to engineer and we will have Frankie. Now we need to create Dryad. We have in here lake and plant. So let's merge them together in order to create lily. Now let's add lake to the lily and we will have lotus. Now lily and lotus together will create another element which is nymph. And then plant and nymph together will create in here dryad. Now we can add monkey D. Luffy to that and we will have Nico Robin. And now let's create skeleton. We need to have lake for that. And we also need to have smoke. So we already created smoke earlier. So let's add those right here. Now in here, let's add in here lake and earth. So let's add those and we will have in here swamp. And then water and smoke together will actually create fog. Now after that, swamp and fog will create ghost. Then earth and ghost will create zombie. Then fire and zombie will create skeleton. Now we have this. Let's add Monkey D. Luffy to that and we will have Brook. So that's how you make all the straw hats in Infinite Craft. Hope we help and then continue subscribing or supporting our content. Thanks.